Pull up a chair. I'm Evelyn, and this one matters. I want to start by telling you about a woman. I'll call her Eleanor, and Eleanor is 76 years old. The last time our paths crossed, she was sitting on the edge of a narrow bed in a small spare room in her daughter's brand new house. There were still moving boxes stacked in the corner, taped shut, the ones you never quite get around to opening. And her whole life, 41 years in one home, the kitchen where she'd raised 3 children, the front garden she knew by heart in the dark, all of it had been sold, or given away, or squeezed into that one little room. She looked at me, and she said the thing I have heard so many times over the years that it still catches in my chest. She said, "Evelyn, everybody told me this was the smart thing to do. So why do I feel like I disappeared?" And I sat with her a good while, and I didn't have a tidy answer for her because there isn't one. But I have thought about Eleanor 1,000 times since that afternoon because she hadn't done anything foolish. She had done the exact thing everyone she loved told her was wise. Now, here is what I need you to hear, and I know it goes against almost everything you have been told. Everyone assumes that moving right next door to your children into the granny flat, the in-law suite, the house on the same street is the safe, loving, responsible move. And for some families, it truly is. But for an awful lot of people, it quietly cost them the very thing they were trying to protect, their independence. And sometimes, it strains the very relationship they moved closer to save. I spent 30 years helping older people stay in their own homes. I sat at more kitchen tables than I could ever count, and I watched capable, sharp, independent people give up their own lives years before they ever had to, usually with the very best of intentions, and usually because every single person around them agreed it was the sensible thing to do. And now I am the age of the people I used to help. So understand me, I am not talking down to you from somewhere up above. I am sitting right beside you. Here's the part almost nobody makes time to say out loud. The idea that closer is always safer is just an assumption, a default that everybody carries around and hardly anybody stops to question. It sounds like love. It often is love. But love and a good decision are not always the same thing, and the people cheering you toward that move rarely have to live inside it once the cheering stops. So stay with me all the way to the end, because number 5 is the one almost everyone gets backward, and it's the one that quietly hands you your freedom back. And this isn't only Eleanor. In AARP's surveys, they have asked older Americans this same question for years, and the answer barely moves. Better than 3 in 4 of us say we want to stay in our own homes and our own communities as we age, not in a facility, not, for most of us, folded into the corner of somebody else's household. Home. So before you sell the house you love, because it feels like the responsible thing to do, let's really look at this together, honestly. Quick note before we start. I'm Evelyn. I spent 30 years helping people stay in their homes, but I'm not your doctor, your lawyer, or your financial advisor, and this is general education, not advice for your situation. If something here doesn't feel safe for you, don't do it. Check with someone who knows your body. Now, come sit with me. Before we go one step further, do me one small favor. Tell me in the comments how old you are and whether you're watching this for yourself or for someone you love. I read every single one. Truly, every one. Your stories are the whole reason I make these. So let me say the reframe plainly, and then we'll walk through it piece by piece. I want you to picture yourself as the captain of a ship. Your home is your ship, and you have sailed it for decades through calm water and through storms. Now, a good captain is not too proud to take on help. A good captain takes on crew, welcomes a harbor pilot aboard when the water turns rough, accepts every willing hand that's offered, but a good captain never hands over the wheel. That is the whole thing, right there, in one picture. You can accept all the help in the world and still keep your own hand on the wheel of your own life. This is your home, and you can stay in it. Moving next to your kids isn't wrong. Doing it by default, out of fear, without a single boundary, that is what costs people the most. So here are the 5 ways it quietly backfires, and exactly what to do instead. Number 1, you slowly hand over your decisions. It almost never happens in one dramatic moment. Nobody sits you down and takes your independence away in an afternoon. It leaks, one small drop at a time. First, your daughter starts driving you to your appointments, which is lovely, and which is real help. Then she starts sitting in on the appointments. Then she starts scheduling them for you. And then, one ordinary Tuesday, she's answering the doctor's questions while you sit there in the chair, and everyone in that room means well, and not one person notices that you have quietly stopped being the person who runs your own life. That is handing over the wheel, one spoke at a time. I sat with so many people who told me the same thing, in almost the very same words. I don't know how it happened, Evelyn. I just stopped being asked. Your money gets managed for you. Your mail gets opened for you. Your opinions get talked over gently, the way a person talks over a child. And every bit of it comes from love. That is exactly what makes it so hard to see coming and so hard to stop once it starts. So here is what to do instead, and this is the single most important practical thing in the whole video, so let me slow all the way down. You keep your decisions in your own name. Your own bank account stays your own bank account. Your name stays on your own home. You keep making your own appointments and answering your own doctor for as long as you possibly can, even when it's slower, even when somebody standing there could do it faster. Faster is not the goal. Yours is the goal. And here is the one I want you to write down. Before you change whose name is on a deed or a bank account, before you sign a power of attorney or any legal paper at all, you sit down with a licensed elder law attorney first, not your neighbor, not a form off the internet, not just because the kids are in a hurry to get everything sorted. A licensed elder law attorney or a financial advisor who can look at your specific situation. I can't give you that advice, and neither can any video, but I can tell you, after 30 years, that the people who kept their own name on their own life were the very same people who kept their independence the longest. A good captain takes the help. A good captain does not sign over the ship. This is your home and you can stay in it. Number 2, you become the free daycare and the on-call help, and you lose your own life. When you live right next door, you are always available. And always available, I promise you, has a quiet way of becoming always expected. At first, it's a joy. You pick the grandchildren up from school. You water the plants when they travel. You're there for the dog, the deliveries, the mom. And you love being needed. Of course you do. We all do. But watch what happens to your own week. Your card game slips off the calendar. Your walking friend stops calling because you kept having to cancel. The little life you built, the one that was yours, that had your name on it, gets quietly rearranged around everyone else's. Now, I want to be fair here, because I'm not telling you to stop helping your family. Helping the people you love is one of the great joys there is. The problem was never the helping. The problem is when it becomes the default, unspoken, unlimited, assumed, and you are the one who never says a single word about it, because heaven forbid you seem difficult. So here's what to do instead. You set the expectations early before you move, if you possibly can, and you do it warmly, not, I won't help, never that. Something more like, I would love to be close to you, and I want us to actually talk about what that looks like, so nobody just assumes, and nobody ends up worn out. Then you keep a few things in your week that are yours, and stay yours, your Tuesday lunch, your church group, your morning walk. And you treat those the exact same way you treat a doctor's appointment, because they are every bit that important. When one of the grandchildren asks why grandma can't babysit this particular Thursday, because grandma has her walking group, is a wonderful thing for a child to hear. It teaches them, young, that a life is a thing you protect at every age. A grandmother with a full life of her own is a gift to those grandchildren. A grandmother who quietly vanished into everybody else's schedule is a loss they won't even understand until it's too late to fix. You are still the captain of your own days. Say yes to the crew all you like, but you are the one who sets the course. This is your home and you can stay in it. Number 3, there is no boundary, and no boundary means resentment on both sides. This is the one I get letters about. Because when there is no line drawn, everybody suffers. And I mean everybody, not just you. You feel crowded the drop-ins with no warning, the little comments about your driving, the constant low sense that somebody is always watching to see whether you're slipping. But here's what people miss. Your children feel it too. They feel guilty if they don't check on you, and guilty if they check too much. They feel their own lives now quietly orbiting yours, and then they feel guilty for minding it. And nobody says one word of any of it. It just builds in the silence, like water rising behind a wall. One woman told me her son had a key and used it, and she loved that boy with her whole heart, and still, she found herself flinching every single time she heard it turn in the lock. She never said one word about it for 2 years. And the cruel part, the part that breaks my heart, is that everyone moved closer out of love, and the closeness with no boundary around it becomes the very thing that starts to eat the love. So here is what to do instead, and I am going to hand you actual words you can use, because set a boundary is useless advice without a script to say out loud. You sit down together on a calm, ordinary day, never in the middle of a crisis, and you say something like this: I love that we're close, and I want to keep it that way for a long, long time. So can we agree on a couple of things? A quick call or a text before you come by, most days just so I keep feeling like a grown woman in her own home. And if I ever truly need help, I promise I will actually ask. So you don't have to watch me. You can just trust me and enjoy me. Say that, or say it in your own words, at your own table. The magic was never the perfect sentence. The magic is that you named it out loud, kindly, before it had a chance to curdle into resentment. A boundary is not a wall you put up against your family. A boundary is the fence that keeps the good thing good. This is your home, and you can stay in it. Now let me stop here a second, because I don't ever want you to hear something I'm not saying. Let me be honest, for some families, living close, or even together, is the right and beautiful thing, and I have seen it work with real love. This is about doing it on purpose, with boundaries, instead of by default and by fear. Some of the happiest people I ever sat with had a daughter right upstairs. The difference was never the distance. The difference was that they had chosen it, out in the open, with clear lines drawn instead of sliding into it because they were frightened and everybody around them just nodded along. Take a breath. The next two are the ones that really change how you plan the years ahead. Number 4, you tie your whole independence to their marriage, their job, and their next move. Here is what people forget when they sell everything to move next to a child. You are not just moving next to your son. You are moving next to your son's marriage, your son's employer, and your son's 5-year plan, and you do not control a single one of those things. Let me tell you about a man I'll call Ray. Ray was 79. He had sold the home he'd lived in for 30 years and moved 1,500 miles to be near his boy and the grandkids. He built his entire world around them: Sunday dinners, the school pickups, the whole beautiful thing. 18 months in, his son's company offered a promotion in another state, and they took it. Of course they took it. It was the right move for a young family with a future to build. And Ray was left in a city where he knew no one, no old friends, no doctor he trusted, no church, no card game, no neighbor who'd know his name. He had anchored his entire life to a boat, and the boat had sailed, through nobody's fault at all. That's just how life goes. Jobs move, marriages change, families relocate. So here's what to do instead. If you do decide to move closer, you build your own roots the day you arrive, and you build them yourself, not through your children. You find your own doctor and your own pharmacy. You find one group, one club, one church, one anything at all that is yours. You learn your neighbors' names. You put 2 or 3 people in your phone who are not related to you, people who would actually notice if your lights didn't come on one morning. And you sign up for one thing that meets on a schedule, so that somebody, somewhere, is expecting you: a class, a volunteer shift, a standing coffee with a friend. Being expected somewhere is its own quiet kind of safety net. That way, if their life moves and life moves, you are not left stranded. You have your own harbor to sit in, A ship lashed to another ship goes wherever that other ship decides to go. So, you drop your own anchor, this is your home, and you can stay in it. And I'll be honest with you now, because I promised you I would be. I got this one wrong myself for years. Early on, I used to tell families the same thing everybody else told them, the closer the better, every single time, no exceptions. What finally changed my mind was not a study in a journal. It was watching what happened after the boxes were unpacked. It was watching the raise. So I don't say any of this to you from a book. I say it to you from a whole lot of kitchen tables. Which brings me to number 5, the big one, the one I told you almost everyone gets backward, and it is the one that sets you free. Here it is. Set your own home and your own support up now proactively, on purpose, so that whatever you decide about your family, the choice always stays yours. Do not build your independence out of other people. Build it, first and foremost, out of your own life. Now I know exactly how that can sound, so let me say the hard part as gently as I can. Even with children, even with wonderful, devoted, loving children, there is no guarantee they will be there at the moment you need them. Jobs move, health changes, marriages end, and sometimes, God forbid, a child goes before their parent does. I am not telling you that to frighten you. I am telling you the exact opposite. Because the moment you stop making your children your plan and start letting them simply be your bonus, something wonderful happens. You stop waiting. You stop bracing yourself. And that is not a sad thing at all. That is a free thing. And there is real weight behind this. It isn't just me talking. Researchers who study aging have found, for decades now, that a sense of control over your own daily life is one of the very strongest things tied to how well we do as we grow older. There's a famous study from years back where nursing home residents were simply given a little more say over small, ordinary things, even just a plant of their own to look after, and real decisions to make about their own day. And the ones who were given that control did measurably better. The follow-up years later even suggested they lived longer. More say over your own life. That is the medicine. Not proximity to your kids, control over your days. So set it up now while you can. Make your own home safe and easy to live in, so it can carry you for years. Good light, no loose rugs to catch a toe, grab bars where you need one, all the boring little things that quietly keep you home. Build your circle. Get your papers in order with a licensed professional. That means keeping a simple, current list of your medications, your accounts, and your wishes, somewhere a person could actually find it, and, once again, sitting down with a licensed elder law attorney about the legal pieces, because those have to fit your own situation, not a stranger's off the internet. Do it while it is calm, while it is still your choice, while you are the one holding the pen. Because a decision you make on purpose, early, is a completely different animal than one that gets made for you, in a panic, in a hospital hallway. This is your home and you can stay in it, not because you are all alone, because you got yourself ready. And that brings me to the thing I most want you to actually go and do. Have the conversation with your children, the real one, on purpose, long before anyone is standing in the middle of a crisis. This is the video to send back and forth. If you have a son or a daughter who worries about you, send them this one. And if you are the son or the daughter watching this right now, frightened for your mom or your dad, send it to them, and then the two of you sit down together. This one, honestly, is for both of you. Here is a way to start it that keeps it from turning into a fight. The parent can say something like this: I love you, and I have been thinking about the years ahead. I do not want us making big decisions someday in a panic. I want us to make them now, together, while I am still the one deciding. Here is what matters most to me: staying in my own home for as long as it is safe. And here is what I promise you in return. I will tell you the truth about how I am really doing, and I will ask for help before I am in trouble. What I need from you is to trust me and to help me set things up instead of taking things over. And to the son or the daughter, your whole job in that conversation is mostly to listen and then to ask one single question: what would make you feel safe and free at the very same time? and then you help them build exactly that. Not the move that makes your own worry go away, the setup that keeps their life fully theirs. And I want to say one thing straight to the worried sons and daughters watching, because I know that worry is real and I know it comes from love. Helping your parents stay independent is not neglect. It is the deepest kind of respect there is, and the bravest, most loving thing you can do is trust them enough to let them keep leading. Because that one conversation, had 10 years too early instead of 10 minutes too late, is worth more than any granny flat that was ever built. So let's bring this home. 5 ways that moving right next to your children can quietly backfire and exactly what to do instead. Number 1, you slowly hand over your decisions so you keep your whole life in your own name. Number 2, you become the free daycare and lose your own week, so you set the expectations early and keep what is yours. Number 3, no boundary breeds resentment on both sides, so you name the lines out loud and you do it kindly. Number 4, you tie your independence to their marriage and their job and their next move, so you build your own roots wherever you land. And number 5, the big one, you set your own home and your own support up now, on purpose, so the choice always, always stays yours. None of this means loving your family one bit less. It means loving them from a life that is still fully, wholly your own. You are the captain. Take every hand that is offered you and keep your own hand on the wheel. This is your home and you can stay in it. You built a life inside those walls. You get to keep living it. You've got more life to live and a home to live it in. Take care of yourself. I'm Evelyn, and I'll see you right back here next time.